This video is a study and comparison between 7 cross-compatible wooden railway toys, ranging in price from $29 to well over $200. Basically, I will examine what you get for your money. If you're after some gritty info related to the history of these toys, there's a link in the more info area and it's well worth a read. In this video, I'm not going to get bogged down with intense details, but I will be doing my best to present every train set in a fair and equal manner. Each train set has its strengths and weaknesses. I will also show you how I would spend $200 in building a mega wooden railway set, and I'm sure this will be an eye-opener for many. Hopefully the viewers will have their say as well, because in the end it's your comments that really count on this video. And please tell me which set presents the best overall value in your opinion.
Set number 1, TT no-name set.
The first and least expensive is a generic brand sold at K-Mart for $29. This set has 80 pieces, of which 31 are track pieces. So to explain the title above, that's 80 pieces, 31 a track for $29, and that's approximately 36 cents per piece. This set is also expandable via buying building, train or track packs costing only $5 each. When opening the box, there is zero box bloat. It's amazing the 80 pieces reside in this small box. The supplied assembly instructions are clear and easy to understand. Once this set is built, it presents as a very tidy layout with siding and loop. There are loads of little buildings, trees, cars, animals to fill out the layout. The train is very basic in design, but in a simple way appealing. When examining the train wheels, they are very loose on the axle, so once the train's down on the track, it seems very sloppy on the rails. And this is in stark contrast to some of the sets that we'll see later on. The tanker rolling stock of this set can have its tank removed. A level crossing in this set is a nice touch, which presents us with one of the few pieces of plastic in this set. Once you start taking this train for a drive, that's when the trouble starts. This train is very light and loves jumping the rails, especially on the curved track areas. When letting an assortment of Thomas and Friends characters have a ride on the rails, they feel really comfortable and glide around this very inexpensive layout with ease. Considering its incredibly low price, the only letdown is the lightweight rolling stock and the lack of risers or bridges, which would make this layout far more interesting.
Set number 2, Aldi train set.
Occasionally Aldi have a wooden train set for sale. This one has 100 pieces and sells for $49.99. You may as well call that $50. The box tells me it's compatible with leading brands. On opening the box, there is minimal box bloat. My only track plan is the box artwork. Once built, this is a very sizable set with an interesting layout design. There's loads of scenery and vehicles which seem very similar to the TT train set we just saw. This set comes with 2 trains. One's a passenger train, the other a goods train. The train engines are the letdown. They are very basic and have very loose fitting wheels. Possibly the 6 cars of rolling stock add to the appeal of this set. The bridge girder work has the only plastic parts I can see apart from the wheels on the train. The Diesel 10 team have a great time here, enjoying a smooth glide around the many bends in this layout. Considering there's a bridge in this set, let's see how the trains cope if they need to go under this bridge. And first up is the Aldi train, and it only just fits under this bridge. Next up is Team Diesel 10, and he's struggling to get underneath without affecting the bridge, and it seems Thomas clips it as well. And how about Chuggington's Brewster? Well, he's going to come eye to eye with the bottom of this bridge, because he's so much bigger than the Thomas wooden railway characters. For me, the strength of this set is its layout, which includes a bridge, but the train engines are the big letdown here.
Set number 3, Imaginarium city train set.
Imaginarium have a fantastic range of wooden train sets and accessories. This 40-piece set cost me $59.99, let's call that $60. The box tells me it's compatible with Thomas and Brio wooden sets. What I like about Imaginarium is they have a great selection of modern looking rolling stock. If you don't like the look of a chugger on your Thomas railway, maybe you would enjoy one of these to add a modern touch to your layout. A 3-piece modern diesel set for $19.99 or a single train for $7.99. On opening the box there is minimal box bloat apart from the voids within the buildings. There's also an easy to understand track and parts plan. So here's the built layout. It feels far smaller than the previous Aldi set, but it does come with a stunning city-style train. The few accessories and building in this set are so-so. I can't class this flat facade as a house, and there's a fair bit of plastic used across this set in many structures. Now my belief is a wooden railway should mainly be made of wood. The city train glides around this layout and there's an elevated bridge section which really adds to the play appeal. The wheels in this train are fairly loose, but the carriages are a fair bit heavier than the other rolling stock in the previous sets. When Team Diesel 10 invades a city, they master the rails and easily roam the layout until they encounter the bridge, and all of a sudden their plans of taking over have been foiled. And seeing this will surely give us a hint that Brewster doesn't stand a chance clearing this bridge. So this has me now questioning the details on the box, which spoke about cross-compatibility with other sets. I like the compact raised bridge design and quality train, but the set feels a little bare compared to the previous sets in this review. To see our next 4 sets, we're going to also see a massive jump in price, so look very carefully at what you get for your money in these next 4 sets.
Set number 4, Chuggington Trainee Roundhouse.
Chuggington is a new kid on the block and brings with it a new dimension to wooden railways. Coco and Brewster reside in this set, and a price tag just under $160. On opening the box, I see box bloat immediately, and a further stripping out of packing cardboard, there's plenty of room left in this box. The instructions for assembly are clear and easy to understand. Once assembled, what I see is a tidy layout with sheds and a raised track. It's plainly obvious loads of this real wood railway is in fact real plastic. From what I can see in a previous question I posted about plastic in these sets, the audience seems fairly divided on the amount of plastic used in these sets. Along for the ride is a very lightweight and very plastic cargo car, which likes to tip over when it's riding between Coco and Brewster. The Thomas and Friends intruders revel on the Chuggington track. I think I'm best off letting the audience have their say in this set, and if you're a Chuggers fan, would you feel enticed in buying this set as part of your wooden railway?
Set number 5, Percy at the Dieselworks.
This Thomas and Friends set certainly caught my eye. How could you not resist the Dieselworks setting with Percy, Diesel 10 and a cargo car? Now what's interesting, this set is only $9 more expensive than the previous Chuggington Roundhouse, coming in at $169. It's also equipped with a light and sound feature. On opening the box there are all sorts of little pockets of box bloat hidden throughout the packaging. I dare say this is part of the beast when you have all these strange shapes residing in a rectangular box. There's a clear and easy to understand layout map. Once assembled, we are presented with an interesting 3-loop layout, but I can see loads of plastic. Some of the wood parts have detailed grungy decals applied, but all the plastic is clean and crisp in colour. One of my sayings is the devil is in the detail, and toys at this price level surely deserve great detail. The 5-way turntable is nice, and there's also a cargo transfer play feature to make sure Percy is kept very busy. Little cargo car, in my books, is a non-event. And this set comes with a sound feature as well.
Welcome to the Dieselworks.
Now the big disappointment for me is the happy-pilled faced Diesel 10. He looks so different to the classic and far more menacing Diesel 10 from yesteryear. I dare say these changes keep the collectors on their toes. If Brewster comes for a visit, he's fine inside Diesel 10's shed, but in the cargo yards, he's going to have some trouble. I will do an in-depth review of this set, and I feel it's far more exciting than the Chuggington Roundhouse set, even though it's totally lacking raised track sections.
Set number 6, Thomas and Henry steam around Sodor.
I'm pretty sure when you see a set like this, you're thinking quality and what many would class as collectible and classic. It also comes with a very large price tag. Premium brands tend to charge premium prices. The packaging of this set has substantial amounts of void, which I call box bloat. And when I do find the parts of this set, they're all neatly and tightly packed in sections within the packaging. It's interesting to see the fuel truck is tucked away within the packaging. I would have had it up in a display box window next to Thomas and Henry. The instructions are clear and easy to understand. Once built, this is a small wooden railway which is clearly a quality product. The two characters in this set work well together. The loop track under the covered bridge is nice, and there's minimal amounts of plastic in this set. I know there are many people who keenly collect the Thomas wooden railway and would not touch anything else. Some of you may argue that you can't make a comparison between this set and those earlier sets that I showed, and we're dealing with a price difference of $150. This set does come with a different sort of Thomas, and when we investigate underneath, we find he's a 60-year edition Thomas. As we've seen so far, any set which has an elevated track tends to have much more play appeal. Elevated track is fantastic for setting up accidents. If Brewster comes to visit Thomas, he's fine in the covered bridge, but not when he goes to go underneath this bridge. Let's change direction and examine an all-metal wooden Thomas on the 3.5-inch curved track. Houston, we have a problem, and I did ask a question about this in a previous video, and from the responses I received, I can see this is a very common and well-known problem. Let's do a little bit of rebuilding of this curve, and I'm going to use the track that I found in the first 3 sets in this review. All of a sudden, the Eagle has landed, and Thomas goes about being a really useful engine again. So what's going on here? From what I can see, the non-Thomas tracks have a rounder profile on the inside track grooves. So let's rebuild this curve with some Chuggers track. And from what I can see, the little Thomas failed to ever get past the first curve in this track. The Chuggers track has a slightly deeper profile than the Thomas track. Now this $199 Thomas set is fairly dry. There's really not much going on here to play with. So let's sprinkle some magic over this set by adding some of the scenery from the Aldi set we saw earlier. And all of a sudden the dry and lifeless Thomas set has come to life with all the tiny bits of scenery from the Aldi set. The only track change that I've made is added the level crossing. So hopefully seeing this will have you thinking a little differently in relation to those very inexpensive sets that I showed earlier in the video.
Set number 7, racing down the rails.
This set looks like loads of fun. I can't wait to send Thomas off on a high-speed daredevil adventure down the mountain. Priced at $239.95, it has the least amount of pieces and track so far in this review, but does make one of the largest layouts we see. There's minimal box bloat in this packaging, but my instructions were crushed down the bottom of the box, and once straightened out, they were easy to understand. It's a great looking set which has a spiral feature. Down the bottom is a mud trap which is resettable after trapping a train. Only a few major parts are made of plastic, The spiral track rises are detailed with spilt jam, rocks and girders. On inspection of the Thomas in this set, I can't see any differences to a standard Thomas I already own. This really disappoints me. I feel this set deserves a special Thomas. When I purchased this set, I assumed the play action worked both ways after reading the box info, which infers to Thomas whizzing past spilt jam and hits a rough patch of mud. Well, we've already seen where the jam and the mud patch reside on this set. When pushed down the straight steep decline, Thomas truly does race down the rails. Well, that was fun. Now let's try the other way. Okay, let's add some trains. Okay, let's add 500 grams of lead. Okay, let's try Brewster. Okay, let's oil Thomas's wheels and motivate him. Surely that's going to work. Well, as you can see, I can't reach that mud trap. So what am I doing wrong here? It's only after I reconfigure the set and move the mud trap to the bottom of that steep hill, we start to have loads of fun. Well, I've got to tell you, I feel stuck in the mud as well. Personally, I felt I don't have much value for money in this set. And this set does have amazing write-ups all over the websites which are trying to sell this set. And as always, the audience are privileged and can have the final say on their thoughts on this set.
Prices and worms.
So we've just walked through 7 wooden train sets. For me, the can of worms here is the massive difference in price across these sets. All prices I've quoted in this video are full retail prices in Australia. I have seen Imaginarium, Chuggers and Thomas on special at greatly reduced prices. Buying online can sometimes nab you a bargain, but be very careful of shipping costs as some of these larger wooden sets are very heavy.
If I had $200 to spend.
Because I'm not aligned with any toy company, I'd like to show you how I would spend $200 in building a wooden railway. I would buy 2 Aldi 100-piece wooden train sets and 6 Thomas & Friends characters and enjoy the best of both worlds. Surely, once all this is put together, it would make an incredible wooden railway. Now here's a reminder of what $199 will buy you in the Thomas realm. Okay, let's get back to my mega set. All up between these 2 Aldi train sets are 64 pieces of track, 2 bridges, 16 cars, a great assortment of 10 signs, 12 trees, 6 passenger train carriages, 6 goods train cars, 4 really crappy train locomotives that you can use for smash-up derbies, and to bring some real quality to these train sets, 6 classic and well-known Thomas & Friends characters ready to tear up the rails once all this is put together. You may read warnings like this about compatibility. Well, let's say I'm showing you a different version of the truth here. I have found the wooden railway market is a minefield of irregular pricing and surprisingly loads of cross-compatibility, and I'll admit I really did enjoy looking through the 7 sets that I've presented to you in this video. We're about to crack the 20-minute mark, and down the line I'll present a video examining destructive testing on the brands we see in this video. It's going to be interesting to see who survives a series of grueling torture tests. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.